Hi, the joys of going live. Never, what is it? Never act with animals or children or small children. Well, this is, if I can just, oh no, she's going to go away. That was Felixina. And she is just the most beautiful, affectionate cat. She really is. So now I can rearrange everything that she disarranged and say, hello, good morning, America. Good evening, Europe. Good night to probably most of Australia and that part of the world. And welcome to the Southern Hemisphere. Welcome everyone in the Northern Hemisphere. Welcome everyone anywhere. And if you're in a different galaxy or on another planet, a big welcome to you. I am Penny Dix, and my new channel, it's the same channel, but we've changed the name, is now called Astrology with Penny Dix. And we dropped the Astro Coach bit. It's time to move on and change. It's always good to keep changing, to bring in new change. And you know, it keeps everything flowing. Otherwise, we get stagnation. So brand Penny is going through a bit of a kind of a sort of a reinvention, and we're having new photos done, so it's all going to be terribly exciting because my team Penny, which I often talk about, are absolutely amazing. But how are all of you? And how has the week been? And hi, Lady Anne. The kitties, all the kitties are fine. They're the new one, the Rudy Red, is getting there. We need a little bit longer. He is okay with all of the cats except for Iggy. Iggy the red ginger fluff ball. And Iggy is like, I don't think so. Do you mean he's staying? Huh, not in my life, he isn't. So it's Rudy Red will be okay. He's coming out a bit more, but he comes out, he rushes out and he eats everything in sight and then rushes back again. So it's like he's storing up all the food to make sure he's got enough in case it's a long time before he can come out again. So I want to ask you actually how you felt around the new moon we had this week, because we had a new moon on the 11th, wasn't it? Or was it the 12th? On Thursday, which I think was, do you know, the energy last week, towards the end of last week, Thursday, Friday, I found quite challenging. I don't know about any of you. Please do. Oh, Jem saying, oh, absolutely awful, really. Thank you, Mary S. Remember to hit the like button. That's it. Absolutely. Hi, Janice. Quiet week, but got stuff done. That's good. Oh, Andy, I'm glad you felt amazing and you were healthy after have a brutal stomach bug. Woo, nasty, but always good for losing weight, though not the best way to lose weight. So I probably shouldn't say that. That's interesting, Lady Anne. You're saying you didn't get much sleep on the new moon. It affected me like that. And it affected my sciatica very, very negatively. In fact, I had to cancel some clients. I've rearranged them all. And if they're watching, they can see that I'm now okay and back and ready to be able to see them on their new arranged times. But I had a couple of days which were not okay. So let's, Jem, what are you saying? You've been motivated, but it's been challenging emotionally. Oh, sweetie pie. That's not good. You saw, Joyce, everything you were told was wrong. Well, maybe it was. I mean, we just don't know. But let's have a look at this week ahead, because we're in the energy of moving up towards this big, massive, massive event of the century. Pluto moving into Aquarius. I know he slips back into Capricorn for a couple of months later in the year before finally taking up residence in Aquarius at the end of middle of November. And just to let you know, I'm doing a series this year of videos which are all about the outer planets in 2024. The first one will be about Pluto, and I'm in the process of organizing that. I've got all my prep done, and so I've just got to record it, which I'm hopefully going to do at some point tomorrow. And then that will hopefully be up on the channel by the end of the week, as will the full moon in Leo, because we have a full moon in Leo next week on the 25th. So I've just recorded the video for the full moon in Leo, and that will be uploaded round about Thursday this coming week. But yes, this new moon is in Capricorn, and this week we've just had felt like really being thrown in at the deep end with life in general, and lots of demands and lots of things having to be sorted out, and lots of people demanding kind of structure and the way we do things. This is, and it was so Capricorn. It was such a Capricorn week. So happy birthday to anyone that had birthdays last week, or indeed has them this week, because you've got some fabulous energy in your chart, that's for sure. Also, I want to answer a question that one of my wonderful viewers asked me, which is, I'm sure I can mention you, Andy Walsh, because she is just been such a super support to the channel, as you all are. And Andy and I had a session recently, and then she wrote to me again, and she was asking me about medical astrology. And I did a little bit of research, because I always sort of say whether it's a good day to have surgery or not. Well, which I just realized I forgot to write down in any of my notes this week, but never mind. But I found a really interesting piece on the internet that I just want to tell you about. And it's medical astrology and astrological medicine. And it's by a guy called Peter Morrell. And I started reading it, and it is fascinating. So if you want to know a little bit more about when one should have surgery or any procedure on any part of the body, I suggest you go to this article by Peter Morrell. That's double R and a double L at the end. And he's got a picture on here, which is lovely, which is from Digges in his 1555 manuscript. You see, they were doing astrology all the way back then. And there's a picture of the body and which part of the body is ruled by which zodiac sign. So it's really quite funny. And the one that really made me laugh was Scorpio. And in Old English, and very discreet, it says it rules secret members. Members spelt membres. Well, we all know what that is, don't we? And it just made me laugh. Oh, and this is good, Libra, buttocks. I don't know if that's a word we're allowed to say, but buttocks. So, but the secret members was the one that got me in Scorpius, as it's called. Hello, there is so lovely many people of you joining me here. Thank you for being here. I just want to say it's really tough to look at the chat as well as give you the information that I want to give you. And a lot of you tune in because you want the astrology, and I'm going to do that now. We are going to try and reorganize the live chat with Team Penny so that a member of team, not a member, but a member of Team Penny will always be available to somehow manage the chat and pin important questions to the top of the chat so that I can pick up on them and answer the question. So let's go back, excuse me, to the astrology of the week ahead, because today, Sunday the 14th, we have the moon in Pisces waxing crescent. So, of course, this is after our new moon, and this is always a good time to bring things in, initiate, create, start, begin again. But what someone's asking me, what is the medical astrology last name again, spelling? Hang on a minute, my love, let me tell you. It's Peter Morel, Morrell. And I found it by the bit I went to was where did I find it? Was it that one? Yes. Okay. The one I clicked on was www.homeoint.org Morel Medical, and the kind of title of the website is Medical Astrology and Astrological Medicine. And I haven't read it all. I've just briefly looked at it, but it does look fascinating. And so, and I actually, one of my clients last week does a medical astrology, which I found absolutely fascinating. And, you know, apart from the fact we were doing her astrology, but it was really interesting to meet someone that actually also just specializes in medical astrology. I actually didn't realize that there were astrologers that specialized in medical astrology. But there you go. We learn something new every day. And isn't that... Oh, Judith Hill has a book. Okay, thanks, Regina. Okay, interesting. So medical astrology, medical astrology by Peter Morrell. Let's get back to the astrology of today, because today is quite important, because Mercury, our planet of communication, overthinking, all of those delightful qualities, well, they're not really qualities, moved into Capricorn today. So we've got this energy in Capricorn, we've got Mars in Capricorn, we've got Mercury in Capricorn, we've got Venus in Capricorn, and it's building up for all three of these planets, these personal planets, to actually move into Aquarius, again, sort of one after the other, and they will all be conjunct at some point, Pluto in Aquarius, in the next few weeks and months. So that's going to be very interesting. And so keep your awareness alert for this energy and for when we talk about it. But Mercury enters Capricorn today. So I think we're going to find our thinking becomes a little bit more structured and ordered. And it's interesting, actually, because the last 2 or 3 days, because I wasn't in my best state, I was using that wonderful word, I felt very discombobulated. And my thinking was very discombobulated. My talking, I was just off planet. I was not in this world. And so Mercury, I suspect, moving into Capricorn, today I have felt much more ordered and clear about what I'm doing this week, my kind of work schedule, all of those things. And I think it's important for all of us to feel that we are in charge of our lives, and that our lives aren't in charge of us. And when you get this kind of situation where everything overwhelms one and it all runs away, and we are caught in the overthinking, then it is difficult sometimes to rein oneself in and center oneself and actually just be here now in the present and be calm. And that's where this full moon in Leo on the 25th, which is next week, so I'm not really going to talk about it this week, but I've just recorded it, so of course it's fresh in my mind, is very interesting because Leo is about it's about the entertainment world, but it's also about this lion standing alone. And sometimes I think this last few days, I don't know how the rest of you have felt. Please let me know in the chat. But it's felt as if we've all been a little bit on our own and maybe almost too proud to ask for help, because sometimes we have to actually let go. I was thinking again about, because I have this fascination with Sedna, that is the sea goddess, the Inuit sea goddess, and she is the goddess of the ocean. And she was trying to climb back into the boat that her father had thrown her out of. And her father threw her out of the boat because there were too many people in the boat and somebody had to go. And he decided to get rid of his daughter because otherwise they would all drown. But the symbolism of this cutting the ties, cutting the bonds, cutting her hands off, making her let go, have faith and trust. There's something to me about this energy that is around us at the moment that started with that Capricorn new moon, about letting go and having faith. And because you let go and you actually go into the discombobulation and allow yourself to be in your own inner chaos and observe it from the inside, but know, because you have faith, that you will come through this, that you will be born again out of your chaotic state, because we go through this process thousands, millions of times in our own lifetimes. And transiting Mars at the moment is making, in Capricorn, is making a square aspect to the North and the South node. This is a tension, and I mean not a tension, I mean a tense energy that is making us feel as if we are being pulled in some ways back to the past, and yet knowing that the best way forward is to the future. And it's about having to let go of old patterns, old behaviors, old habits. And it's like we go kicking and screaming into the new, like babies when they're born. They must enter this world and think, what the? I was all nice and warm and safe in there. And now I'm out here with all these lights everywhere and strange images coming at me and people going googie googie goo. And I mean, it must be terrifying for babies. But we don't always think about how we affect another. And that's one of the things, it's like a thought I want to give you for this whole week ahead before I go through each separate day. Because do you actually pay attention to how you affect others in what you say, in what you write? Sometimes we can be so careless in, say, what we write in a text, in a message, in an email, because we're in a hurry. And we just go, send. Whereas before we had all this automation, all this technology, we would handwrite a letter or even write it on a typewriter. And we would really read it through several times before we sealed the envelope. So what I'm saying to you for this week as a thought to take with you through the next week is think about how you affect others. Is there something in the way you behave with certain people that is kind of almost taking advantage of their goodwill, or taking, sort of, well, just taking advantage and not recognizing that we're all individuals, even though we're part of the collective, but that we have to honor each other and respect and have a balance. That South Node is in Libra. It's asking us to balance things, not only in relationships, but in the relationship we have with ourselves. And so, okay, I'm just seeing that Regina is saying you're brutally honest and you do not mean to hurt feelings, but that's your genuine self. And yes, and there is something about the honesty, but I think it's how it's delivered, because there are two ways we can go with this. Let's pretend, or let's imagine we're not doing so well with a particular friend and the relationship is getting a little bit frayed around the edges. And then they do something that really upsets you, or you do something that really upsets them. And it starts to really break up and fall apart. Well, what this new kind of astrological energy is asking us to do is take everything up a few notches to a higher frequency level, where you find solutions for a positive resolution within this discombobulated relationship or friendship, so that you actually heal it. Even if you both decide to go your separate ways, you leave each other feeling empowered and positive and not kind of uncomfortable and as if everything is unresolved and sticky and kind of nasty and heavy. We have to really work hard this year with raising our energy into that positive frequency. It's not just about or just positive affirmations. That's not what I mean. It's about learning in situations where things get out of control with another to respond to it with mindfulness and not react. Mercury is entering Capricorn today. It gives us that chance to think things through and find solutions. Remember, Capricorn is about structure. It's about getting to the top of the mountain and succeeding. And I suggest any relationship, however fragile it is, can be resurrected and brought into that frequency of love through the intention of, I'm going to be honest with you about my feelings. Please honor me by being as honest with me as you can too. Now, some people just find this too difficult, and maybe they are the people that we have to say, then I let you go with love. But it's just something that's been around in my thinking. And it's very much about this new raising of our consciousness that Pluto is going to bring us through its move into Aquarius, let alone what Uranus is going to be doing in Taurus, because we're right on this pivotal point. I mean, really, I'm talking about a lot about what is kind of happening next week rather than this week, because I get so overexcited. Because let's say we are at the beginning this week of some truly remarkable astrological energies, which are going to give us all the opportunity to wake up, to absolutely raise our vibrations, to up our game, to get our lives into some kind of order that works for us, for the highest good of us, and for the highest good of others. So let's move on, because tomorrow, Monday, the 15th, the moon is in Pisces, still, of course, waxing crescent. Venus, remember, our planet of love, relationship, and really everything I've just been talking about, in Capricorn, makes a lovely trine aspect to the North Node in Aries. Now, this really kind of underlines what I've just been talking about with regard to relationship and friendship. Venus trining the node in Aries. This is our destiny. This is where we are all heading towards. This is what we are meant to be doing. I heard, I was listening to a video, and I think actually it was a beautiful conversation between Pam Gregory, the wonderful British astrologer, and Heather Ensworth, who is a very renowned and respected American astrologer. And they said something very significant, and I'm sure they won't mind. In fact, I'm sure they will welcome me bringing it into this conversation, which is, it's not the people that want war. We don't want war. I don't want war. You don't want war. It's the men in power. And that we kind of know this anyway, but I think sometimes we need to underline it and remember that the people doing the fighting, most of them don't want to be doing what they're doing. And somehow collectively, and Pam Gregory runs a kind of distant silent meditation, which actually starts at 8 o'clock CET. So that's 7 o'clock in the evening GMT. So that'll be about an hour and a half after I finish this particular video. But it's just literally that what Pam suggests, and again, it's free, and I have no doubt that she will welcome the fact that I'm suggesting it to all of you, that you all just imagine for 15 minutes that you are holding hands with everybody around the world, and that you are just intending peace and love. It's as simple as that. And you do it for 15 minutes. I'm certainly going to give it a go tonight. So for me, it's at 8 o'clock. But before I get into my lovely warm bed with my electric blanket, I shall sit here quietly and imagine I am holding hands with every one of you, and that we are connecting with a vast community, a massive soul family. And the more people that get involved in this, the more we can change the reality, because we have to remember that we're dealing with a kind of physics which is getting more credence now in being able to be explained, not perhaps fully understood, but that we affect situations and people and events by our thoughts. We know we create our reality. All we have to do is, think today's horrible, I hate today, everything's going wrong. And what do? You get a really bad day. But if you start every day off with intending it to be the most amazing day ever, and know that miracles will happen round every corner, then you might not get 1,000 miracles, but you may very well get quite a few round every corner, because it's about our mindset and where our attention goes. Remember that phrase, and I can't remember who coined the phrase, energy goes where attention flows. So energy goes where attention flows. We can help the world to heal, and maybe what we have to do collectively as well is to actually intend the world leaders to find peaceful solutions and not fight. So I just give that to you because of Venus in Capricorn trining the node in Aries tomorrow, because this is about self-worth as well. And this is about valuing oneself enough and each other to know that you are all worth being given the attention that you deserve, being listened to, being read. So, hi, Sylvia. Welcome to my live. I love the big blue heart, and reminds me of my lovely blue light beings that will be around somewhere, and they've probably been dictating to me what I should say tonight. So, I'm just scrolling quickly through the yes, the holding hands, I think, is very important, and pray for the heart of the leaders. Yes. So let's move on to Tuesday. Tuesday, again, the moon is waxing crescent, but it's in Aries. So when it gets back to the beginning of the zodiac, I think we might find that tomorrow we might be a bit sluggish getting started. On Monday, it might be a bit, oh gosh, back to work, back to doing the routine, and everything getting a little bit overwhelming. Because if you think of my oceans of emotions, my Pisces, we may have a little bit of that Piscean lunar energy kind of surrounding us, because the moon will be conjunct Neptune at some point tomorrow. So it'll be, the Neptune energy will be bringing in a bit of illusion, confusion, delusion, derision, anything with an Asian bit on the end of it, lack of vision, or just thinking we see clearly and actually clearly we don't. So be aware of that. But by Tuesday, we're on the ball. We're absolutely sharp, because the moon is in Aries. Now, the sun in Capricorn. So remember, the sun is still in Capricorn. We still have lots of lovely Capricorns having wonderful birthdays. Happy birthday if it's your birthday on Tuesday, because The sun in Capricorn is sextiling Neptune in Pisces. And so all the kind of confusion that may have been around on Monday will clear, because the sun is bringing in the light, literally. Remember, the sun is the soul, the center, the heart of our solar system. Without it, we won't be here. And, you know, the sun in Capricorn shining its light in a positive way on Neptune is helping us sort out what perhaps got a bit confusing on Monday, which is tomorrow. Now, by Wednesday, excuse me, the moon is in Aries waxing crescent, but there are no major aspects. So Wednesday is a good day again for initiating things, taking action, getting on with what needs to be done, getting errands done, tasks done. But you know, when the moon is in Aries, it's good energy because it's action, it's active. Now, what we must be aware of course, is that could also mean activity on the world stage. That is not so much of what we want, which makes it why it's even more important that we join Pam Gregory's meditation group at 7 p.m. UK time, GMT. Adjust it for your time zone. Because, you know, this is really important, because what this lunar energy in Aries is firing things up again, so that we might see Wednesday things ramping up again a bit in our hotspots. Not just that, but in politics and governmental departments. So that is something else that's going on. By the time we get to Thursday, we have the moon in Taurus, and it's in what's known as its first quarter. So now the moon is in Taurus, it's Thursday, we're already beginning to wind down towards the weekend. And Taurus is like, I want a bit of luxury, I want a bit of comfort, perhaps a bit of comfort food to make me feel, you know, nice and warm and snuggly in the cold, wintry weather that we have in the Northern Hemisphere. In the Southern Hemisphere, I do hope you are getting a good summer. I know one of my clients I spoke to down there said that it wasn't that hot, wasn't that great, bit of rain. So I hope that's clearing up for you. And also on Thursday, Mercury, remember it's in Capricorn, and Mercury being the planet of communication, sextiles Saturn in Pisces. Now, Saturn, remember, is our planet of timing, of restriction, contraction, and boundaries, amongst other things. So Mercury is suggesting that Thursday is a good time for sensitive and positive, constructive talking. Now, this can be whether it's on a business level or a personal level. If it's a personal level, it could be that you are able to sort things out in a personal friendship or relationship where things have got a little bit discombobulated. That's the word for the last week, actually, a discombobulated week. So that Mercury sextile in Saturn is actually very helpful on Thursday. So you might achieve quite a lot in terms of discussion and talking and resolving certain issues. By Friday, the moon in Taurus, and here we go, because I know we love this phrase, waxing gibbous. The moon kind of half moon eyes going, I love your gibbous eyes, my darling. So we have that energy going on. And Mercury in Capricorn this time is trining Jupiter in Taurus. Now, this feels very positive. So I think on Friday we will hear positive news in the news. And I think this will be about structures, companies, anything that is to do with money. We may see the financial markets recovering a bit. Maybe they've dipped a bit in the week because of what might be happening in our problem areas, etc., etc. So I think Jupiter is bringing in a bonus towards the end of the week. And Venus, our planet of love and relationship and money, of course, is squaring Neptune in Pisces. And so, and we had that actually a bit earlier, didn't we? Yes, we did have that a bit earlier. So we've still got this kind of a little bit of confusion in basically in relationship. So just not seeing things necessarily very, very clearly. But I want to get on to Saturday the 20th. What I really want to get onto is Sunday the 21st. But that's the spoiler for the live for next Sunday, the 21st, because I'm going to talk about Saturday the 20th. This is probably one of the most important days of this year, astrologically. So just take a bit of time to absorb that. Next Saturday, the 20th of January, is probably one of the most important days astrologically of this year, almost of this generation. So that's a lot to take in. The reason is because the sun in Capricorn is conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. Now, they are both at the very, very final degree of Capricorn. This is as if the sun is heralding, shining his light, shining the way, opening like a gateway, because Capricorn, in a sense, is, you know, steps forward, moving through these kind of structures. The sun is shining a light through a gateway that is opening up like a huge, massive opening in the heavens for Pluto to leave Capricorn. What will we hear towards the end of the week internationally that is quite mind-blowing, shocking, earth-shattering? It may not be on that day, I hasten to add, because this energy will be around for a while. But it's like it sets a point in time. And it is so powerful. The fact that they are meeting at this final degree of Capricorn, and it's like the sun is giving Pluto permission to move into the sign of Aquarius, where it's going to be for the next 20 years. This is massive. Pluto is the planet of transformation. Pluto is a planet about personal empowerment. Pluto is about big change. Pluto brings endings. Pluto brings new beginnings. It shows the way. It rips away what no longer serves you. If you don't willingly let go, then Pluto will remove it, as does Saturn. Now, I think I said at the beginning, I'm doing a series, or maybe I said it in my full moon video, which I've just recorded. I'm doing a series of videos all about the outer planets, The first one I'm doing, which will be out and up and available by the end of this week, is Pluto in 2024. So it's going to be a very important video, this. And also, I will go through each of the individual zodiac signs so that you know which area of your life, your personal life, is being activated by Pluto's move into Aquarius, because it's big. So this Sun conjunct Pluto is massive. The Sun on Saturday, the timing is extraordinary. It's like this cosmic dance that the planets do round our wonderful ball of fire in the center of our solar system. The rhythm, the timing, the kind of the precision of the connections that come are extraordinary. The Sun enters Aquarius at 14:08 GMT. At 13:45, the Sun was conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. This is just like a few minutes later. It moves into Capricorn. Sorry, into Aquarius. I'm getting so excited. I'm getting it all back to front. So the Sun enters Aquarius on the 20th, having just been conjunct Pluto. And Pluto moves into Aquarius on Sunday, the 21st. But I am going to talk about that. That's the spoiler to join me for next week's live, the live week ahead astrological forecast. The other thing that is happening on Saturday is Mars in Capricorn. And I just thought this was quite interesting because it's making a trine to Lilith in Virgo. Now, Lilith, remember, is our point in the cosmos. It's a kind of almost like the nodes, a kind of ecliptic energy. It's an energetic area. It's like the dark of the moon. It's hidden from our sight. What is hidden from your sight that Mars is going to reveal? Mars in Capricorn doesn't take prisoners. Mars in Capricorn trining Lilith in Virgo is saying, well, if you're not going to let this out, I am. And it's because it's for the highest good of all. And we are just going to have to trust, whether it's on a personal level or on the world stage, we're going to have to trust that that's what it's about. Because otherwise, we get left behind. I've talked about this before, where I see this energy as what's happening with Pluto this year moving into Aquarius. And in my 2024 overview, which is up on my channel, which I know it's mine, but I still highly recommend it because the information in it, I think you will find, especially as the year goes on, incredibly helpful. But at the beginning of that video, I talk about how this year will feel like two massive oceans meeting on, sort of Cape Horn. So you've got the Atlantic and its massive energy meeting up with the Pacific, and the discombobulation that happens of these two oceans trying to merge, trying to mix. This is like the cosmological energies that we are going to be experiencing this year as Pluto moves into Aquarius. It is going to feel like we in fact are going to be above the ocean. Because remember, Aquarius is an air sign. Jupiter mid 2024, in May 2024, moves into Gemini. So we get suddenly more emphasis of air signs, thought, thinking things through, using the mind and the power of the mind in a very new way, recognizing that there are many ways to use our minds, which we all know and we've all kind of forgotten, but we knew them when we first came in out of our mummies' tummies. Listen, I'm not going to go on for hours tonight because I think, Andy, yes, using the power of the mind. Yeah. And I will be talking more about this. And that will be in my Pluto video. It'll also come out in my Uranus video, which will be the video I do for February. But what I also want to just remind you of, a little bit of just business before I end tonight, is that, as you know, most of you know, I'm due to have surgery, and I think it's going to be around about the first week of March. It's not on my members, I hasten to add. And anyway, it means that March and April I'm not going to be working, but I'm going to do my best to pre-record as many videos as I can, including these lives, but they'll be pre-recorded for the Sundays that I miss, if I have the time and if I can manage to do it. It's a plan. It may be too much and I may not be able to do it, but maybe I can keep them concise and short and just do them for like 20 minutes or half an hour, because I've been warned by the surgeon that I won't be able to sit down for longer than 20 minutes. I will need to keep getting up and moving, and this is to obviously get the body moving and all the muscles working again, and the spine doing what it's supposed to do, which is hold me up straight. So I won't be taking clients in March or April. And if you're new to the channel and you're wanting to book a session, you'll go to my booking site and you'll see that, oh, there's nothing till May. And I'm afraid there isn't. It's just that it's the way it is this year. And I am bowing to the greater force of the cosmology and the movement of the planets in my own chart, which I will do a video about later in the year, because I think it'll be interesting when I get to the other side of the surgery to just kind of reflect on the astrologies to help you with any difficulties with your physicality that you may go through. So yes, Andy, letting go and letting God. And thank you. Yes. And so, as I say, bookings are from May. If for some reason I'm still not up and running, so to speak, by May, do not worry. I will just find a way to move you forward. So I won't, not sort you out. It'll all be sorted out. And remember, we've got the wonderful team Penny, including Jerry and Andrea, and you never know who else I might get on board. So that's the plan. So the content will be a bit less this year, but I promise you, I'm going to make sure the quality is as good as I can get it. And I want to thank you all for being here tonight. You've all been, as usual, absolutely amazing. I will go back and scroll through all your lovely comments. Oh, thank you, Andy. Yes, I really should say this. Thank you, everyone. 30K. In fact, it's now 31K. How did that happen in terms of subscribers? Well, you hit the like and the subscribe button. What can I say? Thank you. Huge, massive gratitude. I really do appreciate, and I will do my best to give you what I'm passionate about, to give you my understanding of the astrology and these challenging times we're going through, and really use my understanding and working with Pluto to personally empower all of you to be able to understand your charts without the help of an astrologer, but enough to be able to kind of navigate your lives in a constructive way. Because I think this is about power to the people. It's not about the elite astrologers. And I'm not saying there are any elite astrologers out there, but it's not about that anymore. This is about everyone needs to understand this wonderful system and how helpful it can be in our lives. Check out that medical astrology. It's a fascinating article on that website. So let me just read down and see. Oh, that's interesting, Vieshka. You had a discussion, mother-daughter. Okay, well, God bless you and well done. And what else have we got? Oh, I love that. Thanks, Jem. That's really sweet. That is really lovely. Thank you for wishing me the best of health. I just have a very good feeling about it, and I know I'm looked after. And listen, it'll be what it's meant to be. And I have to do what Sedna did: let go and let God and transform, because that is actually what I'm doing. So maybe on that is a good note to end this live on. So I will be back for the live next Sunday. I'm not doing live new or full moons anymore. That's a decision to lighten my load so that I can manage to do everything else this year. And that's really all I want to say to you tonight. I just think you're all absolutely awesome. And bless you. Thank you for being here. I will. Thank you, Joyce. Yeah, I'm just. See you next weekend. What can I say? You're all amazing. And I've managed to get it in just under an hour. It's 18:57. How about that? End stream. I love you all. I absolutely